And I guess the last thing is just Drive to Survive.
I'm excited to see how bad it. It's gonna be very interesting to see their take on it.
Yeah, seeing as they're partly blaming Netflix for this as well. I don't think...
For bringing in the agenda of let them race.
Yeah, I don't think they blame them specifically as in Netflix was involved. I think the influence Netflix has had now on the sport, they're trying to like, you're blaming Netflix for Massey seeing green when...
I think it's more Liberty Media, because Liberty Media want to get more new people into F1. They're keener to get the younger audience involved in the sport, whereas Bernie was more he was keen to get older people into the sport.
Rich people, yeah.
Yeah, so the demographic they're targeting is very different. And so to target the younger demographic, they need things to be exciting, to be on the edge of your seat, all of this stuff. And I think it's them actually pushing, that's why they're brought in Netflix. And so I don't think I think it's Liberty Media who's at fault, not Netflix. Because Netflix did exactly what they were asked to do. Create a drama based on the Formula 1 seasons, and they did that. And they did what they do really well. They created a drama. But
yeah, I mean, it worked, I guess. Liberty's we'll see what effect this has on them, because American fans, they're,
yeah, but American fans tend to like Lewis a bit more. And the American fans are upset, obviously, by Lewis losing. So they are the demographic they're really focusing on, which is the American public. They want to get them involved. It's not really looking good for them. So I find it hilariously ironic.
Yeah, they've shot themselves in the foot. Yeah. And I guess just to bring this all to a close, it's another example of why they don't actually listen for what the fans want. Like, they're trying to create drama and stuff, but like I said, a lot of the new fans I've been speaking to, they're interested because of the engineering. And that was already there from the start. Like, they're not here because we're going to have 14 sprint races, hand out 26 points every 4 laps, and there's going to be no safety cars anymore because we need green flag racing. Like, they're here for the engineering. They like the cars, they like the people, they like what's going on, and they like what F1 already has. Like, they don't even... I don't know, as much as people like the sprint races as entertainment, they're not. Like, I don't know, even without the sprint race, and yeah, they haven't even been that interesting, but even without the sprint race, like, they would have been fans of F1 anyway. Like, you don't need to be trying so hard to get all these young fans. You just need to listen to what they're actually asking for.
Fair racing.
Yes, and following the rules. And I guess if you want to bring up this last thing, you wanted to say, we have news of where the sprint races will be.
Oh yeah.
In next year. So do you want to just explain the sprint race championship format thing they've got going on?
I don't know.
What I try and get. Okay. Well, so Ted Kravitz, my incredible man, he was what was he saying? He said that the sprint races next year will be part of their own championship. Okay, I found it already. They'll be part of their own championship. They won't have it interfering with, like, the grid and all of that, the qualifying. The races that I found this list, the races that they're saying could potentially run the sprint race next year.
Yeah, I saw a confirmation of this.
Oh, okay. So I got this from some
different source.
Okay, so I've got some Dutch guy said this, not from a Dutch publication, and then it was liked by someone. I think he works for the BBC or something. They've said Bahrain, first race this season, Imola, Montreal, because we haven't been to Canada in a while, Spielberg, which is Austria, Zandvoort, and then Interlagos, Brazil.
Wait, Austria's having 2 races next year?
No, I just said... No, sorry, I didn't say Spielberg in Austria, I just meant Spielberg in Austria.
Yeah, but they already have... Oh, that's Belgium, sorry. Spa's Belgium. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to have... Wait, they're not going to have the... Is the Austrian GP already there?
It should be on the calendar. I mean, we.
I mean.
What do you mean?
So we raced at Spielberg this year.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know its name. That's why.
Yeah. So we had Austrian GP and Spielberg, whatever the other name was.
Okay. Yeah.
Spielberg is the name of the track, like Interlagos.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I thought it was the director.
This guy.
There he is.
Race director, film director. What do you think of the 6 though that we've given the list of?
I think they're probably good races to have. Zandvoort, besides Zandvoort, I think they're very good for. Zandvoort is just Zandvoort is not that good for overtaking, is it? And I guess with next year the cars being a lot closer, with it not being dependent on on the front car for like downforce and stuff, it could be a lot more interesting. I think Zandvoort is a very interesting track, but I find it like all of the others have kind of quite a lot in common.
Yeah.
And Zandvoort is kind of like the odd one out.
Do you think it's because it's perfectly fair to choose where you're going to do the sprint race based on viewership and entertainment and all of this, because you're going to try and find the best? Do you think it's purely because
I think they chose it purely.
Massive images right there,
exactly,
like the pictures of Zandvoort.
But then they could probably want to do one in Silverstone as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised Silverstone didn't get one. It seems like
because Silverstone is like perfect, but I guess Silverstone was a bit boring in terms of like.
True. Yeah. No, the Silverstone sprint race was dead.
Yeah. But I guess like if you do a whole like championship, then all the lower teams will be a lot more be keener to get there, because there is a say prize money at the end or something at the end.
They're offering more points now. Yeah.
Yeah. The points don't go towards the championship though. They go towards the.
The theory is the points are more. They go to their own championship, like a sprint race championship. So you'll have a.
And the winner gets like a prize at the end.
No, so either the winner gets a prize at the end, or there's a points conversion, and that gets added to the championship.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
So like, if you get 10 points for a win,
you get like
and then
5 points.
You win all 6, you've got 60 points. Maybe that converts back to like, I don't know,
20 or 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
We'll see. It's something else they've got to work on for next year. So
the FIA has got a lot of issues to sort out now.
Yeah.
And it's all their fault to them, so.
Yeah, it's
I don't
all.
feel bad for them.
No sympathy for Michael Massey.
Not at all. I think he's gonna get fired. I think they're gonna blame him for everything, because he has the right to do whatever he wants.
Actually, yeah.
So they'll just dump all the issue on his interpretation of the rules rather than the FIA, because we've had Charlie for so long, yet we never had any of these controversies. See, Charlie was never tempted to do this, where he let them race and to ruin the championship in the last lap. He just Lewis won in the last lap just purely by rain.
And Vettel won in 2012 under the safety car.
Exactly.
He finished under the safety car in 2012.
He won because the rain changing conditions. That's what made him win. I think Brazil should go back to being the last race. To be honest, it's a race where you get rain. Is because that's the thing, they want the championship to go to the last race and for it to be like dramatic at the end. Don't put Abu Dhabi in the end. The race isn't dramatic in any sense. Like if you put with Brazil, there's a high likelihood of rain, high likelihood of safety car. It's not exactly an easy track to drive.
Perfect opportunity.
Exactly, perfect race for the last race. Put Abu Dhabi before that.
Because if you think about it, Abu Dhabi,
boring.
Before Latifi
Fernando
crashed,
was stuck.
Whether Latifi crashed or not, boring is completely boring.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
with what's his name? Fernando was stuck behind Petrov the whole race.
Yeah.
That would not have happened in say if it was Brazil.
Yeah, we said this last time. So when I said the last title deciders, 2010, the theme was Alonso stuck behind someone. 2014, Lewis just won he got a good start and then won start to finish. 2016, the theme was Verstappen and Vettel couldn't overtake Rosberg, even though Lewis was driving like a tractor. And then now...
Dangerous driving,
And then 2021, the theme was no one can overtake again. Or Lewis led start to finish.
To be fair, there was a lot more overtaking this year. I think the track
layout change was good.
Was really good. I just don't see it as the last race of the season.
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't have that. I think you need somewhere that could potentially have a lot of rain or stuff like that. So you're sitting there, you're like, is it going to rain? Is it not going to rain?
Yeah,
because if it rains, it changes everything. And I think besides this year, usually it rains a bit. When I think back, pretty much all the races we've watched, it always rains except this year maybe, and maybe
20 didn't go, 19 I can't remember, 18 can't remember.
No. Was it 18 or 19 where Max oh no, that's a few years
16.
Before.
16 was Max.
Max was drove.
12 was definitely rain. 11 I can't remember. 10 I can't remember.
No, but it usually rains and it usually puts the championship in something cool is happening.
Because it's not like full wets. It's normally like between inters and dries, which is perfect.
Or it's usually between inters and like, is it wet enough? Do you go on the wets? Or
so between inters and dries, or inters and wets. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you said inters and dries. But then it switches to between dries and wets. Inters. So there's a lot of drama. I think that's kind of like what you're looking for. You don't want that with that way. But then money speaks. So.
Money is the oil money is. We're gonna have a 42 race calendar in the Middle East next year.
Bro, I actually think the season is a bit too long in terms of like I felt like 80, 90 races would have been perfect.
I liked it, yeah. It's annoying.
23 next year, that's gonna be tough. It's good for us fans. It's not really good for us.
Eventually, they're gonna get rid of the winter break. They're gonna be like, "No, I've had enough of this." Right?
We're gonna go down to like 3 weeks. But that's the problem. Is you can do that with other sports where they can take really like they don't need a long time off because it's just the drivers like taking some time off.
Yeah.
But for Formula One engineers, they need to actually come up with a new car, and that takes time. It's not like
and they're flying
the
all across
design,
the world,
the testing, and all of that. It takes a lot of time. And the funny thing is, they increase the season and decrease the budget.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I think within the next few years, I think people are, because now like every front wing you break is like 100k from your 145 million, 150k or 200, like if it's really intricate, 300k.
Yeah.
So first of all, if driver keeps like crashing, I'm gonna see him leaving very quickly.
True, yeah.
But the second thing I think is gonna be like, either they're going to be petitioning for either the costs of like, say if I'm replacing front wings and like stuff like that, to not go towards the 145, or for it to be increased, say like 175 or something, because I think it's going to be like very, very, very tight.
Yeah, it's a lot of added pressure on the teams.
Yeah. Anyways,
sick. Well, one last thing. We're going to go into our ideas then for the winter break and what we've got going on. So, these are going to require some research and stuff, but we're going to do, obviously, a season summary, season review, just go through all the races, see what we think, remind ourselves of what happened. We could also compare it to other historical seasons. We'll come up with, we could do like a historical series where we talk about our favourite seasons in F1, favourite races, something like that. We've got a few guests potentially who could come on as well, seeing as we're going to have to fill this gap up until this time in 3 months.
Some of them will be like experienced fans who've watched Formula 1 for a long time. Some of them are like newer fans that kind of, so we can get the view on like what they thought of the season, what they thought of the FIA, the rulings, all of that stuff as well.
We'll get varying opinions from different people. We'll also do that explaining F1 series I mentioned about all the stuff, so hopefully that should be like a good way of getting yourself into the sport for next year, or to understand all of the talk being said. Obviously technical regulation chat will explain all of that stuff, what they're doing with it. Liberty Media will go, that will be sprinkled in all of them, to be fair. Yeah. Comparing it to
just
what Bernie was
about
doing.
Liberty Media the whole time.
That'll be in all the episodes. News updates if there are any more like announcements and stuff. Team members changing. And then we'll design our own track. That's going to be a good one. We're going to design our own track. That'll be funny.
Monaco.
And then once we get to the once we're in March-ish or February time, we'll do some predictions, livery rankings once the liveries come out in mid-February. And then before, I guess,
once Drive to Survive finishes, we're going to have to review that as well.
We'll review Drive to Survive. That will come out maybe 1 or 2 weeks before the season starts. So right before we'll get a Drive to Survive season review in there as well. So that's what you've got to look forward to. Hopefully we have some time to record between now and then.
Also, in terms of like who won the predictions this year, Muhammad was destroyed. 4.5 to 0. No, to half.
Fantasy team.
4.5 to half.
Listen, no, it's fine. Okay, realistically, my fantasy team is going to be mad. We're going to make a fantasy league, so when fantasy comes out for next year,
if you guys want to join, we'll also make it.
We'll make a league, we'll give you guys the code, and then we'll show you our fantasy teams. I've got mine. I won't get it up now, I can't be bothered, but it was actually pretty good. Like, I actually did solid. So
yeah, but I still won in terms
I'm not great at predicting.
We'll still do the predictions as well, just to see who wins on that.
Yeah, that won't change, and I'll actually keep track of the scores this time properly.
Yeah, but
We'll actually
I won 4.5.
Okay, yeah, no,
half.
you actually.
I kept track of it because I destroyed you. Anyways, thank you guys for listening, and I guess we'll probably catch up. There'll be an episode next week, so for you guys to look out for. Anyways, thank you.